Hey, Zach,
Hey, Hector.
we are coming up at the end of June,
Time
which
flies when you're podcasting.
which means that we got, give or take, month, month and a week before
So
football starts,
so excited. So
before
fucking excited.
before the ultimate shit talk of the degenerates start.
Foreshadowing.
Get ready for that. Season five's coming.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Breaking Down Zit Tape with a Z this time, changing up the name, not really. I am Papa Smurf,
I'm Hector, and I say what I say every day.
and we've got a real simple episode for you guys. So before we get too far into it, of course, we want to shout out our homeboys and girls over at Flask Cap. I know that this might look ugly, but this looks beautiful because this is what you could win. Volts 22 tumbler, a couple of stickers, a Flask Cap Matic 6 that goes on top of the tumbler. When you hit the little fun button up there, dispense some alcohol into your beverage and some Breaking Down the Tape merch. So, with a shout out to our partners over at Flask Cap and hashtag No Last Call, we are going to be announcing the full details of the giveaway next month. As Hector said, we are so close to July. So, just as a general how it's going to work, is we will be announcing the details on the first episode of the month of July. We'll be putting out a post that lets you know exactly what to do. And then we will be announcing the winners on our first Thursday night live game of the season, not the preseason. Not that I think Thursday night games happen in the preseason, but the point being is that first Thursday night live game of the regular season, we will be announcing the winner. So look out
Yes,
to
you
that.
have all month. You have all next month of July, and you got 4 weeks of well, technically 3 weeks of preseason games, but you got all of August up until game one, week one, to like, subscribe, comment, and put in all the requirements to win this prize.
Yeah, guys, and it's gonna be like I said, it's the Volts 22, it's the Matic 6, it's breaking down the tape merch. It's like there's a lot to win here, and there's no reason to not get in to win. It's gonna be super simple rules, like Hector said, like, subscribe, follow, share, kind of rules. And a post will be coming out about that. So, like I said, shout out to Flash Cap. Like I said, hashtag no last calls. And this week, like I said, we've got a real simple week. It's OTAs right now. Not too much crazy has been happening recently. So we don't have a metric fuck ton to talk about. So we're just kind of gonna make it a general sports episode this week. So Hector, I'm gonna let you do your thing and I'll let you start it off.
Hey, yeah. First off, let's go over to the NHL real quick. I know we have spoken right before we jumped on live, on air, I should say. Um, the MVP awards and a lot of the awards for NHL hockey have been released, have been announced. Matthews from, did I say the Stars earlier?
I
Or
believe
Tampa?
so. I
What
believe
was
so.
that?
I'm not well versed enough. I know that someone from the Avs won an award. I think it was the Hart Award. I know that Matthews and I
Matthews
think
won the NHL MVP.
mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
forgot what team. I think it was the Lightning. I think he's on the Lightning actually. And you did say that Igor Shesterkin won.
The
I
Vizina
mean,
trophy.
people kept saying that I was full of shit, but won the best goalie in NHL. And granted, a
It's
lot of people still have Vasilevsky, the best goalie, and rightfully so, two-time defending champ, still defending his title. But Shesterkin is that dude.
certifiably Shesterkin is the best goalie in hockey for the 2022 season. It's a shame that the season had to end the way that it did. Now, keep in mind, much to what you said, Vasilevsky is still going, but this is like a regular season award. So the postseason doesn't matter for these, for these stats. And even if it did, Shesterkin still should have won it. Now, Vasilevsky has put on a clinic save for the first 2 games of both the Rangers series and the Avs series, but Shesterkin has been on par with saves that Vasilevsky has and has more assists. My goalie not only stops the puck, but can help you score it too.
My thing is that if you look at, even with Shesterkin missing the Stanley Cup Finals, he has more saves than any goalie in the playoffs currently.
And had one of the best save, I think the best save percentage in hockey throughout the entire regular season. Had, I think, the most assists out of any goalie in the regular season and playoffs.
Hey,
he's
the
a two-way
Rangers should
player.
have never been where they got to. They honestly should have lost to the Penguins, and that's an honest opinion. They should have lost to the Penguins. It helped us out that Crosby got hurt for a game or two, which let us do the comeback kid shit that we do and put us in the position to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, this is something crazy that I heard a couple days ago. Someone tried to tell me that, like, the Rangers are just a bunch of veteran players and they shouldn't have gotten that far. And I was like, you do know their average age is like 25 years old. Like, yeah, they got some veteran players like Panarin and Zibanejad and Fox, but
let's pump the brakes on even Panarin and Zibanejad might be a little bit older, but let's pump the brakes on the Breadman and Fox. Fox, I think, just turned 25, maybe 26, and the Breadman is like 22. The average age of the Rangers' entire team is, I think, one of the youngest in the league.
Like I said, I think their average age is somewhere around 24, 25.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they have Ryan
relatively
Reeves.
Young and got a lot of potential going forward. Like, you don't get 52 wins, second in Rangers history, just from veteran experience. Like, I get it. They have veterans, because a lot of people in hockey play from like they're 18 years old.
Sure.
They got a couple years in the league.
Right. You get,
but they're still young, because hockey players still play into their 40s. Like,
I'm pretty sure Jaromir Jagr is out there in some nondescript fucking Eastern Bloc league still fucking playing.
He is. He like is still 70. Playing.
Yeah, that's absurd.
I mean, you got Ovechkin, who's still, granted, probably one of the top 5 best players in the league, and the motherfucker hit 40 or 39, some shit like that. Like,
yeah. Ovi's old as sin. Even Crosby, I know. And again, all of this, not to, I think
Crosby's like 36.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't listen to this and be like, I'm 40. That's not old. It's not old in the real world. In sports world, you were around when Jesus walked. Okay, so like Crosby is not a fucking child anymore. He's like 36. Fucking Ovi, you're right. I think he's around 40. If he hasn't hit 40, he's just right there. You know what I mean? So, and Ryan Reeves on the Rangers, yes, he's older. Mika is a little bit older. There's a couple of guys that are a little bit older, but let's not play this whole, the Rangers are an old team. Shut the fuck up. The Rangers are full of a bunch of children.
I'm like, their second,
kids, I don't think you can even drink.
They called their second squad the Kid Squad.
The kid line. Yeah, I don't even think anyone on the kid line can legally drink in the U.S.
Well, yes. The number 1 pick from like 2 years ago, I think this is his 3rd year in the league. I can never say his last name.
Alexis Lafreniere?
Lafreniere. I keep saying now that you said Lafreniere, I can't get it wrong.
So easy. Yeah, it's like, I knew that all along.
Yeah, but no, he's 3 years in the league and he's only 22.
Okay, so Lafreniere can drink on that line. Forgive me, but outside of that, I think he's illegally buying shots for everybody else on that line. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Rangers are an old team argument is just fucking dog shit.
I'm excited. I will say what I say. I don't think they're gonna get as close as they did this year. I think they're gonna have a little bit of bad luck next year. They're gonna get a little bit of reality check.
See, I don't know.
But it'll set them up. They need to see, like, they've seen one of the highest of the highs this year.
Yeah.
I think next year they're going to see one of the, like, yeah, they'll make the playoffs and stuff, but they'll see one of the lowest of the lows in the playoffs, which will give them that experience.
Maybe.
And balance it out.
Maybe, but I don't know, man. Like you said, the Rangers weren't supposed to make it as far as they did, and to come down, and yes, Evgeny Malkin was out for a day. Sidney Crosby was out for a couple of games, but to come down 3-1 against the fucking Pittsburgh Penguins as a bunch of juvenile fucking delinquents that the New York Rangers are, and fucking win that series, then fucking shoot me. I don't even remember who they played second series, but then to go 7 games and win that, and then to take the fucking Lightning after playing every other day for 40 days straight. In 40 days, they played 20 days worth of hockey. That's absurd. And then take the fucking back-to-back champs 6 games. Look,
and it
man,
all starts with the one man.
Igor Shesterkin, baby.
And
Your
when you got
goalie
the
could
best
never.
goalie in the league and he's giving up no fucking goals, it'll take you a long way.
Mm-hmm. And not only giving up no fucking goals, but then his beautiful fucking assists. I mean, like I said, he's got more assists than every other goalie in the league. I mean, that stick handling on him is absurd, man. Your goalie could never. But yeah.
But I don't know hockey, apparently, to some people. I keep that there.
Yeah.
Moving on, there is some talk in the NBA. We got the Knicks, trying to free up a bunch of cap space to bring in some free agents. There's a lot of talk that Kyrie isn't happy with the 1-year deal that the Nets were trying to give him. And the Knicks and the Lakers are some of the people that are, in contention to go for Kyrie. I hope they don't do that and fuck us over. I don't want Kyrie in the Garden. Agreed. Especially after everything that happened. He's toxic. He's passionless.
Passionless.
Can
we re-victory lap on that for a second? Can we take the time to just slow trot around the bases on that for just 1 second? Because remember when 2 years ago we were ridiculed talking about how, these players like Kyrie specifically don't have any passion, and we were ridiculed and we don't know what they're talking about and how the fuck can you say that and all of these things. And then this season happened and those voices that called this out seem to be eerily silent.
I mean, I get it. The man is talented. All the talent in the world. Sure. Probably one of the greatest basketball handlers we'll ever see in the game. But he doesn't like to show up to work.
He doesn't like his job. And you could say a lot about, now I've heard the comparison, Allen Iverson didn't like to practice. Allen Iverson loved basketball, though. Okay, he didn't like to practice, but he loved the game of basketball. Kyrie's just okay, you're paying me.
Yeah, Iverson didn't show up to a lot of practices or didn't want to practice, but he damn sure showed up and tried to play in every single game and would fight with the coaches on the sideline when they try to pull him out of the game. Put some respect on my boy AI.
Respect on it. Nah, I feel you.
I'm really hoping that Kyrie stays far away from the Knicks. The Lakers are another destination, but I think LeBron's going to put a little stomper in that after he shit-talked and bad-mouthed LeBron just to go play with KD. And we see how that handled. I know KD's mad at that motherfucker.
Even James Harden fucking bounced because of it, man. Even James Harden, who fought his way to get to New York, was like, nah, fuck this kid.
And I hate the motherfuckers that bring up Kyrie's stats. Oh, but he shot this percentage and scored this many points and did all this in this amount of games.
Right.
You do know how averages work, right? They take the amount of games you played in and what you did in those games, and it forms your average. So, in 40 games, if you played half a season, and in half a season, you're averaging fucking 30 points and 6 rebounds and 7 assists, sweet. But you're missing 30 other games.
Right. And your sample
size in those 30 other games, that's not happening.
I agree.
It's
go back to Jersey.
A lot of teams now are, and I see it now happening with the Brooklyn Nets. I think they tried to give Kyrie a 1-year deal. I think it was
Oh, I
like a
didn't see that.
1-year sub double-digit $1 million deal. Like they were trying to give him like some bullshit 1-year like $8 million deal type shit. Rightfully so. You are if you're looking for a long contract with a lot of guaranteed money, you are not going to get that if they know you're only going to show up to 40 of the 82 games in the season.
And of those 40 games, you can't even play in your home state because you're not vaccinated, because you're refusing. Look, I'm not trying to make a statement on whether you should or shouldn't be vaccinated. That's not my fucking business. But you're in a job that travels to different states that require that you be. So of the games that you do feel like playing, you're disallowed from playing those games, certain games, because you can't even fucking play. Now, is it dumb that he can sit in the crowd and watch the game but not play in it? Yeah. That's stupid. That makes no sense in the world. I'm not here to comment whether it makes sense or not. I'm just telling you that of the games he can play, or of the games he does want to play, he can't even fucking play it because he's not allowed.
And if people want to still put it to the, like, use that as an excuse, oh, well, I get it. And I'm not telling him go get vaccinated. You don't want to be vaccinated? I get it. Like,
It got nothing to do with me.
I'm not going to have a job forcing me to do something I don't want to do. Morally. Like, if it has, like, if you're telling me that I could play every season before the bubble, that we didn't need to get vaccinated, it's okay to play basketball. But then, you know, COVID hits and you're trying to force the players to get vaccinated to play. I agree. If you are saying, no, like, I have my own right, I don't want to get back, I get that. But on the other side of that, take the COVID shit away. There are multiple games you just didn't want to show up to.
Yep.
You didn't feel like playing. Or you came up with a bullshit excuse of personal reasons, family matters, sick, injured, whatever, and then they catch you on video doing the absolute opposite.
Yep. No, I hear you, bro. I hear you. Sorry, Jay-Z. You should move the Nets back to fucking New Jersey, man. Should have never brought them here. They still got that Jersey mentality, bro.
That dirty Jersey mentality, that Mikey mentality.
That's that Mikey mentality, bro.
Let me
have everybody else do it and buy it for me.
Anyway, moving on to the next sport. Hopefully the Knicks get something right. I need another playoff run from them. But moving on, we got the MLB. The Yankees finally hit 50 fucking wins. First in the MLB. They are 50-17. The last time the Yankees were anywhere close to this type of record was 1928 with Babe Ruth.
Okay, I see you.
1928 and 1923, I think. There was 2 seasons with Babe Ruth that they were this fucking hot.
Right.
They lead in run differential, because I know there's people out there, aka Wild, that loves the run differential. They have scored the most in MLB. They have allowed the least amount of runs in MLB. They have the best ERA in the MLB, starting pitcher-wise. I think they're 3rd in bullpen ERA. 1st in home runs, 3rd in walks, 1st in OPS.
Okay.
I think 2nd in batting average. I mean, what else do you want from the Yankees? If you give them what the people expect, they're buying chips, they still suck, they're assholes, they're this, they're that.
Yeah, no matter what,
don't give them what they want, they're wasting money because they're the highest payroll, they can't win, they're this and that.
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you. Look, as a Yankees fan, man, I'm loving what they're doing. I'm just hoping that they can continue this kind of momentum. I don't care if they dip a little bit. That shit's fine by me. But as long as they can hit this kind of swing towards the end of the season, because it's all about when you get hot, be fine by me.
100%. Right now, I think currently they're losing 5-2 to Tampa Bay in like the 6th or the 7th inning. They won yesterday 4-2. After this series, they do have a series against the Astros at home, which is very, very interesting for me. I've been dying for that series. Then they leave to go play the A's and then go to Houston for another series with Houston before the All-Star break.
Oh, okay.
So they got 2 series against Houston Astros before the All-Star break, which I'm extremely excited about. We'll put a staple point in what's happening. We already have an 8-game lead on the entire American League American League. And second place is the Astros. So even if they sweep us in both series, they are still like 2-3 games behind us.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Like you said, I just want to see after the All-Star break, that's when the season actually starts for us. So I want to make sure they continue on the trend to win. But let's just put it in this sense of the words, of words. I think there's maybe 10 games before the All-Star break left.
Mm-hmm.
Something like around that realm. If the Yankees end up going into the All-Star break with 55 wins, let's say 55 wins. They're at 50 already, so it's not that hard to get there. And they haven't been losing much. They go into the All-Star break at 55 wins. They have to lose almost 60%, maybe more of their games after the All-Star break to even be considered
out of the race.
Out of the race. Like they only have to. They go in with 55 wins. They only need to win 40 games to hit 90 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And the way the AL East is looking, that might win it all right there.
They'll be just fine. Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. The way the Yankees have played this season, something catastrophic has got to happen for me to be like, oh, shit, we're in trouble at any point. So I've been perfectly okay with the way they've been playing.
Judge is going to definitely get paid. He's hit a little slope with the homers. He hasn't homered in a couple days. He's still at 25, though, which I think is 6 more than anyone else in the league. Rizzo has been heating up. Rizzo's almost at 20 homers. So the way it looks for me, the Yankees, all they got to do after the All-Star break is pretty much give the bare minimum.
Yeah, and they'll do minimum that. They'll do the bare minimum easily.
So I'm excited for 2022 Subway Series World Series.
Yo, you know, I would definitely buy a World Series ticket for that. I would go to that in a heartbeat. I would go to that. Man.
To think, it was 2000 when the Yankees and Mets met in the World Series for the Subway Series World Series. 22 years later, they get another one. I would
breaking down easily, the tape game.
Easily, I would sell an arm, a leg, an organ, whatever.
I would sell your kidney to go to the game.
Just as long as it's not my liver.
Yeah, no, we need those.
I need my liver. That's a high commodity right there. That's worth a couple mil.
Bro, I put down a bottle of fucking Crown Royal the other night, and the fucking 2 weeks ago when we were recording, I was showing off the flask cap. I finished that entire bottle of Crown Royal that night, and somehow lived the next day. Don't know. So yeah, no, our livers are high commodities.
High commodity, at least minimum 8 to 12 mil per liver.
Easy, especially since they can grow back. Easy peasy. Anyway, we can buy the Jets with our livers. You could just trade it to Woody Johnson. Think he'll take it?
Don't.
Hey, Woody.
Can I keep a piece so it can grow back?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So what else we got? Is that it for baseball?
That is it for baseball. What else we got to talk about today?
We just got football, man. Not huge news, but interesting news enough in the world of football. So Deshaun Watson, I know we talked about it a little bit the last couple of weeks, but today it was announced that he settled 20 out of 24 of the civil cases against him. The settlement agreement is not being put out there. It's still remaining confidential. But apparently 20 of the 24 cases are being settled.
How weird is that, though? You know, the season's getting, like I said, like we've already stated, July is a week away, week and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
August, pretty much, like the minute August hits, that's like NFL starting to hit it into another gear.
Mm-hmm.
And they're quickly just like, oh, let's just settle 20 of the 24 today.
Yeah, but from what I understand, the NFL released a statement that this isn't going to affect their decision making. Now, whether you take that at face value or not, that's up to you. But I'm just saying that the NFL is not letting this dissuade them or persuade them one way or the other in their suspension decision making.
Well, I get that part too, because obviously the NFL has to make their own decision, and the country has to make its own decision legality wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really weird that they go in and hurry up and settle 20 of the 24. Now, I'm guessing that the other 4 are just putting up a fight on it. Some probably still want to fucking take it to trial and all that extra shit. And some just was just like, yo, free paycheck. You know, he got 230 mil guaranteed. Obviously, he's like, let's quick couple mil each girl.
Well, look, man, I mean, one way you could look at it a bunch of different ways. You could look at it as they're just trying to make a quick paycheck. You could look at it as they failed, but criminal court is not proceeding with any criminal charges. So you take what you can get and you walk away. Be that as it may. You know, I agree with you that it is, you know, it's a large chunk to settle right off the bat. And I don't think it'll affect the NFL. I think he's definitely fucked for this next year. I think at minimum he's suspended a year. But if I'm the NFL, especially with the way they've handled these situations in the past, I wouldn't be shocked if we saw a multi-year suspension.
If I was the NFL, the same way you treated what was that Cleveland Brown receiver that went to the Patriots?
You're talking about Josh Gordon because of smoking weed?
The same way you treat Josh Gordon and put him on the commissioner's exempt list is exactly what you should do to Watson. He is not. I don't. Oh, yeah, he didn't do no drugs or anything like that. But this is worse than drugs.
Yeah.
This
No,
is worse than
didn't
smoking some fucking weed that is legal in half the fucking United States now.
Yeah, no, he didn't smoke weed.
Like, he should be on the commissioner's exempt list until further notice, and he should have been on the commissioner's exempt list prior to this.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm stunned that the NFL has taken so long to make a judgment call on this. Now, is it because they don't know the ramifications of what this does for the trade, especially since the Texans knew about this beforehand? This wasn't a shock to them because they provided the NDAs. So are they trying to figure out, do they reverse the trade? I don't know. I'm not willing to give Roger Goodell and the NFL front office execs a length of rope at all, or any fucking leeway, because of how poorly they've handled social justice issues, how they've handled domestic violence issues, how they've handled these things in the past has been so fucking terrible that I'm not willing to say, oh, well, they're just trying to figure out the right way to proceed. I think they're trying to figure out the best monetary way to proceed and how they can walk away without losing too much money on this whole thing. But I personally think, at least in my eyes, I'll speak for me, each passing day, and especially, you know, we get more information, it seems, each passing day that the NFL keeps letting this go, it's just a bigger and bigger black eye. Like, it just really, really is. You know, they let this go, more women. Then Times News comes out. And it's like, yeah, this dude's like a super perv, like 66 plus massage therapist in 17 months. And one of your fucking organizations knew. And they're still pushing. We still haven't, you know, again, we still don't know what's going on with the Dan Snyder situation. That shit's still up in the air. Robert Kraft barely got a slap on the wrist.
He's not going to testify again.
Yeah.
They tried to get him to testify, and he said no.
And he's like out in Europe fucking vacationing or some shit. John Gruden is still suing the NFL over his email leaks that tie back to the fucking Dan Snyder situation. We've got all of this fucking bullshit still going on. And the more and more that the NFL just kind of like lets this shit slide, the more and more it's a huge black eye. But the problem is, and I'll be 100% honest with it, is once the season starts, they're going to get off scot-free, baby.
Yep.
They're going to walk away from it because your casual football fan doesn't care. Your casual football fan's too busy with their everyday life and giving a shit whether their team is doing well or not. They're not football fans. They're team fans. They're not NFL fans. They're team fans. I don't care about the sport. They care about their team. And that's fine. I'm not shitting on you for that. I'm not shitting on people for being that
but they
way.
paid attention when Kaepernick was kneeling.
Oh, that's because he's black.
Or they paid attention because Josh Gordon wants to smoke a little pot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like the craziness of this dude all but legally gets convicted. Now you could say, oh, legally he got off. Yeah, but legality doesn't equal morality. And we all know he fucking did something that wasn't above board to at least 1 to 10 women minimum. We all fucking know it. And the NFL hasn't pulled the trigger on that, but because a guy smoked weed a couple of times, he's like permabanned from the NFL. That shit's wild to me.
Because the guy
we got a dude who bet on games that he wasn't even a part of, suspended for a year, and they pulled that trigger instantaneously, baby. They didn't give a fuck. That shit came out and they were like, boom, fuck you, Calvin Ridley. But
guy wants to kneel to try to protest against police brutality, blackballed. Straight black, not even like under the radar, black, like blatantly straight in front of everyone's face, just like, yeah, you're a black guy in white America. Fuck you.
Yep. Can't be protesting the police no matter how right you are. Can't do that. But no, bro, I feel you. That shit's crazy. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me when you look at how quickly they pull the trigger on these circumstances that, okay, yes, is it a good thing that you did that? No, but is it really that big of a deal? Not really. But then, hey, you're out here like raping every woman or molesting or making at bare minimum, you have a history of making women sexually uncomfortable. At minimum. At maximum, you're out here like raping multiple women. But at minimum, you have a history of making women feel sexually uncomfortable to the point where an entire multi-million-dollar organization has put out NDAs to help cover up how uncomfortable you make people. And the NFL is like, maybe we shouldn't suspend him. I mean, is molesting people really as bad as gambling on games that you're not a part of? I don't know. Like, how are we living in this world?
Like, you have Robert Kraft over here paying for chimichangas wax offs, and you got Dan Snyder being the fucking perv that he is. By the way, owners don't get nothing.
Can we not forget a key part of that Robert Kraft story? Not only did he pay for happy endings, which, look, it is what it is. Do what you got to do as long as they're legal. But the key part to that is it was like a known fucking human trafficker. It was through a massage parlor that was like known for human trafficking. Like, that was the fucking key point. And we're all like, yeah, okay. Oh, pervy white man. Tee-hee-hee. Let's just keep it pushing. What? I am baffled. Call me a pick me. Call me what you will. I don't give a fuck. But I am baffled.
Like I said, he should already be on the commissioner's exempt list.
Bro, he like
and the Browns. I feel like the Browns and the NFL already did like this backdoor deal where it's like, yeah, once the season starts, we're gonna suspend him for a year, which is why they did the $1 million contract for year one, because they knew he's gonna get suspended.
Everybody knew, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. The more and more, like I said, the more and more this drags on, the more and more my mind gets blown. But let's move on. We've got Ndamukong Suh, who put out that the chances of him going back to the Buccaneers are about the same chances of me weighing 180 in this lifetime. It's not gonna happen. But I swear that I did see him put something out that kind of hinted towards Las Vegas. He said something to the effect of like the Raiders are a good team, or like the Raiders are nice, or keep your eyes on the Raiders. Some like Raiders encrypted post that makes people think that he might be going to the Raiders.
Well, he did come out and say like his time with the Bucks is probably over since they made their acquisitions. I think they got a D tackle during free agency, which kind of like put the stomper on him going back.
They got FJM, I think, from the Jets. They signed Franklin John Myers, I believe.
I think so. Like I said, those kind of puts a stomper on him going back. He is getting on the older side, but he still is relatively dominant for his position.
I'd say he's good enough to work in at like a 60-40 split at minimum, because, you know, like he's not going to get you a metric fuck ton of sacks. See, that's the problem is Aaron Donald is the worst thing for defensive tackles that's ever happened. Now, hear me out.
Well, Ndamukong Suh was kind of Aaron Donald before Aaron Donald.
Exactly. But Aaron Donald's put up so many ridiculous stats that now we're judging D tackles by stats when that's not really a D tackle's job, right? Like if you know the game of football and what D tackles are supposed to do, they're supposed to plug up the middle and eat double teams so that the DNs and or linebackers can go do their jobs and get all the glory. You know, and Ndamukong Suh, for a while, you are right, was the pre-Aaron Donald, and he did put up really good stats. But even in this day and age, even like you said, he's up there in age, he's still doing the traditional really good job at being a D tackle. He is still eating up the A gaps. He is still standing firm. He is still a problem in the middle of the field for the run game. He is still pressure up the middle for the quarterback. He is still allowing the linebackers to go roam free. You know, he doesn't let double teams work up to the second level very easily. He's still a solid D tackle in the league.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see because it's still kind of early. Like, there's still so many guys on free agency that haven't been touched yet, which I think once the preseason starts, you'll see a lot of those names get taken off the board. Because preseason is when you're going to start seeing people, you know, they'll catch their injuries, whether it's a couple weeks or season ending.
Make these cuts down to the 53-man roster and
like we've just said, Ndamukong Suh is not one of those guys where you just leave on free. Like he still is very productive.
Yeah,
the Raiders would look like a good fit. Obviously, it has to be more of a veteran presence team, a more older team. Like you're not going to see like a team like the Jets pick him up.
Yeah,
or
he can't be your linchpin D tackle. And actually, to your point, because of like the whole veteran thing, I can see the Jets bringing him in. Would I want to? Not necessarily, but I can see it because you've got Quincy Williams in the middle. You don't need him to be your linchpin, but I don't think the Jets need him. But I hear what you're saying. Like, he's not going to be like the guy. You're not going to fill your hole at D tackle with Ndamukong Suh at this point. You're going to feel depth and veteran presence with him.
I could kind of see him over at the Ravens too.
I don't hate that.
I kind of see him somewhere in like the AFC North. Or like a Steelers, you know, they got guys like TJ Watt and shit like that. Like you put a presence of like Ndamukong Suh in the middle.
Yeah, I think he could have a good season over there in Pittsburgh. Minkah Fitzpatrick as a safety, TJ Watt as your linebacker. I am putting quotes around that. You can fight me about it later. But
I must say the whole outside linebacker DN position is just like, as the years progress, it's just one position. You're coming out of college being able to play both positions.
Right. And as we move towards, well, not move towards, but as we establish ourselves in the pass-heavy era, the outside linebackers are less worried about coverage than they are about rushing the quarterback. So they're more of like an edge leverage kind of player as opposed to, yes, I mean, TJ Watt does drop back into coverage, but is that really what you have TJ Watt on the field for? Really? You know what I'm saying?
After 20 and a half sacks, really?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You're not going out there and be like, yeah, TJ Watt's in the field. They're not throwing to the flats at all. Like that's not what we're doing.
That's an automatic pick six.
Right. Like, let's not fool ourselves. Half of his picks are because of tipped balls. You know what I mean? He's in the right place at the right time, as he should be, but he's not out there in coverage like, haha, give me that. You know what I mean? Like that's not what we're doing here. But no, I could see him in Pittsburgh. I don't hate that. I could see him in. You're right. You know what? Any of the AFC North, I could fuck with any of that. To be honest,
you could put him on the Cleveland Browns. Put him right next to Myles Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Montez Sweat on the other side, I think.
You know what I mean? He'll eat up double teams so that they can go and get their double-digit sacks. You could put him on the Ravens. You could put him on the Steelers. You could put him on the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a playmaker. He's not going to light up the stat sheet for you. You're not going to look at the end of the 2023 season or 2022-2023 season and say, this guy statistically is one of the best in the game. He's one of those guys that, he went out there and he played his role and he made plays because he ate this double team. TJ Watt was able to come around the end, or, Devin Bush was able to, whatever the deal may be, you're going to be able to make those kind of judgments on him. But, we're in advanced analytics these days, and stats are the only thing that matters. Anywho, I had another thing, but I forgot. So I think that's all I have for the NFL, unless you have anything else.
NFL wise, well, we did see Sauce Gardner buy his mom with his fat contract, a new Mercedes.
Yes.
I'm really excited to see Sauce Gardner and see what he's capable of doing.
I'm telling you, that kid's gonna be destruct. I can't talk about the Jets. Because I'm not gonna be rational. Okay, and then I'm gonna have to look back on these episodes and be like, wow. He's a fucking idiot. He does this every year because I got nothing but good things to say. Things to say.
Also, Gronk retired for the second time.
Yes. But then Drew Rosenhaus comes out, his agent comes out and was like immediately. So I got the notification, Gronk retires, and then I get the notification. But Drew Rosenhaus says that if Tom Brady calls again, he'll probably come out of retirement. So who knows? Maybe he'll do the Tom Brady, right? He'll work on the honey-do list. He'll get fucking bored and he'll be like, all right, I want to go back to football again.
Well, he is getting up in age now. Like, he retired after 8 seasons with the Patriots, retired for the 2018 and 2019, came back for 2020 and 21 with the Bucks. He has what? 4 chips?
Yeah.
I think he won 4.
Still freakishly dominant. Like,
he's coming up on what, 37 career. Years old?
Younger than that.
I think he's 36 turning 37. He has elbow issues. He has knee issues. He gets beat. I give it to Gronk. He does a lot of blocking.
Yes, he does.
As great as he is with his pass catching and his route running and all that, he got 3 chips.
No, he's 33.
Oh, he's only 33?
That's what I was like. I don't think he's that old. He's got 3 years on us, dog. I mean, that's old in football years and tight end years.
He's only 33?
Yeah, he's younger than my older sister.
Thought he was older. But the way his body's beat up, he might as well be 37.
Yeah, because he's not your Travis Kelce kind of fucking, not saying Travis Kelce doesn't block, because he does. But Gronkowski goes out there and blocks, bro. Like,
Gronk actually, like, Travis Kelce does those tip blocks or double team blocks. He's not over there like run play. Kelsey's in it for a blocking play. No.
Right.
And most of the time, when you saw Gronk in the earlier part of his career, when he ran his routes, he was in the 3-point stance.
Mm-hmm.
He was on the line, coming out of a 3-point stance,
running those seams, getting banged up by safeties and shit, bro.
Yeah.
And like, look,
until later on, they started putting him out into the slot.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny to watch safeties bounce off him and shit. But Gronk's taken beatings over the years, man. He's gotten hit on every fucking play, But hey, good for that kid, man. I think he'll stay retired. I think this time, I agree with that. I think this time, 11 seasons in, 4 chips, he got nothing else to do. Yeah,
he got nothing else to prove. He'll go down as probably, arguably, top 3 tight ends. You can kind of debate where you want to put him.
Yeah,
he's already got Tony Gonzalez, you got Kelce, you got Gronk.
Yeah, he's already being argued as one of the best tight ends of all time. So, I mean, he is, to me, first ballot Hall of Famer. You can't You can't take that from him. I know that that's like a thing that gets slung around a lot these days, but you can't look at Gronk's career. What are my two criteria for Hall of Fame? Integral to the storytelling of the game, or best at your position for a important period of time or for an extended period of time. Gronk checks with giant gold jacketed check marks both of those boxes.
I would say that you can kind of debate whether or not he would be if everything that happened with Aaron Hernandez didn't happen. If Aaron Hernandez, he didn't go to jail and all that shit didn't happen, you had the double tandem of Gronk and Aaron Hernandez. And we seen in that one season with Aaron Hernandez what he could fucking do.
If Gronk and Hernandez...
If he stood on the field and didn't go to jail, they would have split time, and then Gronk wouldn't have putting up the numbers that he put up.
But even still, I'll counter that, because if Hernandez stayed on the field, right, say like the murdering people thing aside, say he stays on the field and he plays his entire career and the band is kept together, right? Like it's Tom Brady, Gronk, and Hernandez. I still think Gronk is a first ballot Hall of Famer because, quite frankly, I think the Patriots go back to 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 back Super Bowl appearances, if not all of those championships. I think Tom damn near wins a Super Bowl every year he's with the fucking Patriots if Hernandez stays on the field. People could barely find a fucking solution for the three Walmart bag boys and Rob Gronkowski that was the Patriots passing offense. Could you imagine three Walmart bag boys, Rob Gronkowski and Hernandez?
Like if Hernandez would have, if that didn't happen, he would have been the primary tight end position, and then they would have left Gronk in the slot.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is I think you would have seen so he wouldn't have the same overall stats, but I think like his yards per catch would skyrocket. I think his touchdowns would stay the same, to be honest with you. Because if I'm choosing in the red zone, two tight ends, I'm on the 7-yard line, I'm taking Gronk as opposed to Hernandez, and it's just like a body size thing for me. Not that Hernandez was a small, dainty dude, but if you think of boxing out a motherfucker as a tight end, like first picture comes to mind is Gronkowski.
I'm thinking athletically wise, yeah, I'd still go to Gronk too.
Yeah,
Gronk,
I mean,
if I'm going a pass catcher than Hernandez was.
Sure. If I'm going like 50-yard line and I'm looking, for out routes or some shit like that, yeah, I've got Hernandez all day. But no, I hear what you're saying. They definitely would have split time and definitely would have taken away yards and catches from Gronk. But I don't think it would have, just because of the sheer dominance of that two tight end set. I don't think it would have affected like Hall of Fame talk at all. Maybe greatest of all time talk, sure, but I don't think it would have affected a Hall of Fame talk.
And honestly, when it comes to Gronk, I'm not like a lot of people I get pissed off at, like, oh, you retired and you came back, and I'm not mad when he did it. Yankees, he was beat the fuck up. His career started to like take a little hit. He retired because he thought Brady was like, he only wanted to play with Brady and the Patriots. Well, technically just Brady.
Yeah.
Brady gave him the phone call like, yo, I'm not retiring. I'm coming over here. Let's run it one more time. Or obviously, if it wasn't for them winning the chip the first year, he probably would have retired after that one season with the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
But they wanted to run it back.
And you could tell, even when he retired the first time, like he was beat up about it. He was like, look, I love this game. I don't want to go, but my body can't handle this anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like he was like, all right, I love this game, but it's time for me to go. Like he was like dragged away from it, So yeah, I'm with you. I honestly, although all of my worst nightmares involve Rob Gronkowski just bending over the Jets secondary and sticking it wherever he wants to, I really like him, and it has been a pleasure to watch him play football because he plays old school, like you said, blocking out there on a run play, tight end but he's also got this freakish ability to just catch the ball. You know what I mean? I know he's bigger than everybody else out there, but you can't take it away from him, man.
It's kind of really hard to not like Gronk.
Yeah.
Like he has this mentality of like, he's 33 with the 5-year-old mentality, where it's just like, I just love football and hitting people.
Yeah, he's just a big goofball, bro. He's just like a big goofball. Like he's like your typical frat boy dude, bro, but without all the douchiness. He's like a giant golden retriever. Like that's how I look at him. Is just like a giant golden retriever puppy that's like, oh, I just want to have. Can we have fun? Are we having fun? Let's have fun. And I'm like, yes, I want to have fun with you, Rob.
So you see the ball?
Yeah.
Go get it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I guarantee you that was every play in the huddle with Tom Brady. You see the ball? See the ball? Go get the ball. But no, yeah, he's theoretically done, but I think he's done. I think I think he's gonna call it quits for good.
So what, 2027 Hall of Fame?
Yeah, because you gotta be out
5
for
years?
5 years. Yeah. So yeah, 2027, he'll be eligible. I've got it as a lock. I don't think you can look at Rob Gronkowski stat-wise, importance to the game-wise, game film-wise. I don't think you could look at anything of his bullshit and say, yeah, he doesn't deserve it.
Honestly, I said what I said again. Gronk doesn't go to the Bucks don't win that chip.
I can agree with that. He
was the security blanket for Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Godwin goes out, he started hitting Gronk more than ever.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So I wish him the best in retirement, and if he comes back, don't. That's all I got.
Don't. Just don't.
Just no. I like you, you giant fucking mountain Bernice of a human being, but let's not do this again. What else you got for me? I think that's pretty much it in the news right now.
Yeah, the Yankees just lost 5-4.
Yeah, they tried to make a comeback, though. You got to give them credit for that. But one last time, let's shout out our partners over at FlashCap. You know, like I said, we'll be doing that giveaway starting in July. You guys will have like 2 months, you know, to enter in before, you know, we give away the winner. So keep your head on a swivel for that. Again, FlashCap, go check them out. And that's pretty much, you know, do the bullshit, man. Follow us on all our social medias. That's all I got to say for you. But Hector, do your thing.
Hell yeah, guys. Like Zach said, follow FlashCap. Go get yourself one of those fun buttons because they're really, really fun. Follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I said what I said. Get ready for football season. And Degenerates Football will be coming to you next month. I should be getting everyone riled up and ready. We got some new members. We got some old members. We got reigning champs. We got former champs. We got former losers. Well, everyone's a loser unless you're a champ.
Yeah, so you're the first or you're last, Ricky Bobby.
Get ready, guys. I said what I said.